Breaking news. A shocking and deeply troubling event has captured the world's attention. An Azerbaijan Airlines plane has reportedly been brought down, and all evidence points to a Russian air defense system. How did this happen and why? Was this a catastrophic mistake, a miscalculation, or could there be something far more sinister at play? This unexpected tragedy has ignited a firestorm of questions and concerns. Governments are scrambling for answers. Aviation experts are piecing together the clues, and political analysts are speculating on what this could mean for regional and global stability. Could this incident escalate already high tensions between Russia and its neighbors? In this video, we'll delve into the timeline of this unfolding crisis, the initial reports and evidence, and the potential motivations and consequences. We'll explore the chilling possibility of a calculated act, the impact on diplomatic relations, and what this could mean for global security. Join us as we uncover the facts, dissect the theories, and examine the far-reaching implications of this extraordinary event. The truth behind this incident may shock you more than you ever imagined. Stay tuned. This is a story you won't want to miss. Breaking news. A tragedy has unfolded that has sent shockwaves through the international community. On Christmas Day, a day meant for peace and joy, a passenger plane, Azerbaijan Airlines Flight 8432, met a fiery and devastating end. En route from Baku to Grozny, the aircraft plummeted from the skies, crashing into the ground and exploding upon impact. This catastrophic event has claimed the lives of 38 out of the 67 passengers on board, leaving many survivors in critical condition. What's even more alarming is the cause of this disaster. Contrary to initial claims of engine failure or pilot error, emerging evidence points to Russia's air defense system allegedly shooting the plane down. Reports suggest that rather than providing immediate assistance, Russian officials directed the plane to divert across the sea, seemingly in an attempt to conceal the truth about what transpired. This incident is not isolated. It fits into a troubling pattern of civilian aircraft being targeted in the region. But why is this happening? Why would a passenger plane with innocent civilians be mistaken for a threat? And how does this incident connect to the broader tensions in the region? Witnesses have described the sheer chaos and terror on board. Survivors recount the moment of impact, a loud bang that rattled the plane, followed by erratic movements that made the aircraft feel unsteady and unpredictable. Oxygen levels dropped, prayers were recited, and fear gripped the passengers in their final moments before impact. Official narratives from Russia have already started to crumble. Initial claims of a bird strike have been dismissed as investigators uncovered shrapnel fragments in the wreckage and holes in the plane's tail section, evidence pointing to an external attack. U.S. intelligence has supported the theory that the plane was likely struck by a Russian Pantsir air defense system, which was reportedly on high alert for Ukrainian drone activity at the time. The increasing use of drones in modern warfare has undoubtedly heightened tensions in the region. Ukraine's drones have caused substantial losses to Russian forces, destroying expensive equipment and forcing Russia to intensify its defense strategies. The Pantsir, a mobile air defense system designed to intercept drones and other aerial threats, has been deployed extensively in response. Unfortunately, in this case, heightened alertness and GPS interference from electronic warfare measures may have led to a tragic miscalculation. Adding to the outrage, reports indicate that Russian authorities denied the plane landing permission multiple times, even though safer airports were within range. This decision delayed rescue efforts and potentially worsened the outcome for those on board. Investigators are now analyzing data from the plane's black box, satellite imagery, and radar tracking to piece together the final moments of the flight. As the evidence mounts, it paints a picture of negligence, misjudgment, and deliberate attempts to obfuscate the truth. This devastating incident has once again highlighted the fragility of civilian air travel in conflict zones and the dire consequences of escalating military aggression. Stay tuned as we uncover more details and examine the broader implications of this tragedy. The safety of our skies has been called into question, especially when Russia's actions are involved. This version maintains the essence of the original while improving clarity, flow, and structure. It removes redundancies, and ensures a more engaging and professional tone for your audience. On Christmas Day, a time symbolizing peace and unity, the skies above the Caspian Sea bore witness to a catastrophic tragedy. Azerbaijan Airlines Flight 8432, carrying 67 passengers, plummeted to the ground in a fiery explosion, killing 38 and leaving many survivors in critical condition. Emerging evidence suggests that the plane was struck by Russian air defenses, raising serious questions about the safety of civilian air travel and Russia's role in this devastating incident. Initial reports indicated the plane was denied safe landing at nearby airports and was instead instructed to fly hundreds of miles across the Caspian Sea. This move has led to speculation that Russian authorities sought to obscure evidence by hoping the damaged aircraft would crash into the sea. Investigations by international bodies, including the Dutch Safety Board and the Joint Investigation Team, JIT, are now underway, revealing troubling parallels to prior incidents involving Russia. This is not the first time Russia has been implicated in the destruction of a civilian aircraft. The pattern began in 1983 when Korean Airlines Flight 007, straying into Soviet airspace due to a navigational error, was shot down by Soviet fighter jets. The incident claimed all 269 lives on board, including U.S. Representative Larry McDonald, escalating Cold War tensions and sparking international outrage. Fast forward to July 2014, Malaysia Airlines Flight MH17, en route from Amsterdam to Kuala Lumpur, was downed by a Russian-made Buk surface-to-air missile over eastern Ukraine, a conflict zone. All 298 passengers and crew perished. Investigations by the JIT concluded the missile was launched from a pro-Russian separatist-controlled area and later returned to Russian territory. Despite mounting evidence, Moscow denied any involvement, a stance eerily consistent with its response to the current Azerbaijan Airlines tragedy. Now, with Flight 8432, another civilian aircraft has become the unintended target of geopolitical tensions. Allegations suggest the plane was mistaken for a threat amidst heightened military alertness due to Ukraine's ongoing drone operations against Russia. Evidence, including shrapnel in the wreckage and holes in the fuselage, points to a missile strike, likely from a Pantsir air defense system, a sophisticated weapon designed to counter drones, but tragically misused against civilian aircraft. In all three cases, civilian aircraft entered contested or restricted airspace during periods of heightened geopolitical tension. Military forces, operating under stress and influenced by the fog of war, misidentified these planes as threats, leading to catastrophic outcomes. Korean Airlines Flight 007 occurred during the Cold War, a time of extreme mistrust and military readiness between the US and the Soviet Union. Malaysia Airlines Flight MH17 was shot down amid the Ukraine conflict, with Russia's annexation of Crimea creating a volatile environment. Azerbaijan Airlines Flight 8432 reflects today's rising tensions between Russia, Ukraine, and the international community, further exacerbated by the widespread use of drones in warfare. Despite advances in radar and identification systems, misidentification remains a significant risk, particularly in high-stress situations. These incidents highlight the need for improved protocols and technology to better distinguish civilian aircraft from potential military threats. International law mandates the protection of civilian aircraft, yet these tragedies reveal consistent failures to uphold these standards. The deliberate denial of safe landing for Flight 8432, as well as past denials of responsibility, demonstrates a disregard for ethical accountability. In each case, Moscow has employed denial and disinformation to deflect blame. From claiming technical failures and pilot errors to accusing other parties, Russia has avoided accountability, complicating international efforts to seek justice for the victims. The Kremlin's response to Flight 8432 is no different. Russian officials, including President Vladimir Putin's spokesperson Dmitry Peskov, have urged against speculation while investigations are ongoing. However, mounting evidence, including black box data, satellite imagery, and radar analysis, paints a damning picture of negligence and recklessness. The Azerbaijan Airlines tragedy is a grim reminder of the dangers posed by geopolitical conflicts to civilian air travel. As investigations continue, the international community must demand accountability and ensure measures are in place to prevent such disasters from recurring. The question remains, how many more lives must be lost before these patterns are broken? For now, the skies over conflict zones remain perilous, and the specter of misidentification looms large, casting a shadow over the safety of innocent civilians. The downing of Flight 8432 highlights recurring and alarming trends in the region's geopolitical tensions. Russia's actions over the years have brought into question its commitment to civilian safety and adherence to international norms. The consequences of such incidents extend far beyond the immediate tragedy, implicating broader geopolitical strategies and regional stability. The incident immediately drew widespread condemnation. Nations around the world are responding with tightened international air travel regulations to safeguard their citizens. In a social media statement, Azerbaijan Airlines announced the suspension of flights to 7 Russian cities, citing security concerns. This follows an earlier halt of flights to cities in Dagestan, extending now to destinations like Volgograd, Samara, and Mineralny Vody. Israel's flagship airline, El Al, has also ceased operations to Moscow, reflecting global apprehension over safety in Russian airspace. Examining Russia's possible motives provides insight into this distressing act. Over the last decade, tensions between Russia and the West have steadily escalated. Russia's annexation of Crimea in 2014, its involvement in eastern Ukraine, and its contentious role in Syria have isolated it diplomatically while fostering hostility. Iran's growing ties with NATO and Western nations, coupled with its significant role in global energy supply and trade corridors, position it as a target of Russian pressure. Historically, Russia has viewed former Soviet states aligning with the West as a direct threat. This sentiment was evident in Ukraine, and now potentially extends to Iran. By targeting a civilian flight, Moscow may be sending a warning against deeper cooperation with NATO or other Western entities. Another dimension could involve Russia's ongoing conflict with Ukraine. Iran's humanitarian and energy sector support for Ukraine has strained relations with Russia. Moscow could have suspected espionage or the transport of military supplies aboard the flight, prompting the attack amidst heightened tensions. Domestically, such incidents could serve as a show of force to consolidate power amidst Putin's diminishing influence. Demonstrating decisiveness on international matters, even through aggressive actions, reinforces an image of control internally while projecting dominance globally. International reactions to this tragedy have been swift. The United States and European Union condemned the act, with calls for intensified sanctions against Russia. NATO emphasized collective action against threats to civilian air safety. The United Nations and the International Civil Aviation Organization stressed impartial investigations and accountability. Global solidarity with Iran was evident, as nations demanded justice for the victims and repercussions for those responsible. Public reactions have mirrored governmental outrage. In Iran, protests erupted, demanding justice for victims. In Russia, anti-war demonstrations were met with severe crackdowns. The incident further alienates Russia from the global community and undermines its already fragile alliances. This tragedy underscores 3 critical dimensions: the geopolitical impact, technological challenges, and legal accountability. Geopolitically, the event will exacerbate tensions and likely push Iran and neighboring countries closer to Western alliances. Technologically, it reveals the persistent risks of misidentification despite advanced systems. Legally and ethically, the deliberate targeting of civilian planes violates international law, warranting severe consequences. As investigations progress, this incident is likely to deepen Russia's isolation. With its economy already burdened by sanctions, further punitive measures could destabilize the regime. Russia's diminishing credibility leaves its remaining allies reconsidering their ties. This tragedy may ultimately accelerate the erosion of Russia's regional influence, while uniting the global community against such violations of international norms. The downing of a civilian aircraft is a stark reminder of the dire consequences of aggressive actions against innocent civilians. This tragedy raises three critical issues that merit close examination: legal and ethical considerations, technological limitations, and the broader implications for international relations. First, the legal and ethical considerations surrounding this incident are substantial. International law mandates the safety of civilian aircraft within national airspace. Any military action resulting in the destruction of a civilian plane is a severe violation, potentially leading to significant legal repercussions. Ethically, such an act calls into question the adherence to principles of proportionality and necessity in military operations. These principles require that offensive measures be strictly limited to achieving legitimate military objectives and avoid harming non-combatants. The global outrage and demand for transparency underscore the urgency of a thorough international investigation to uncover the facts and assign responsibility. Should the ongoing investigations confirm that Russia intentionally targeted the Azerbaijan Airlines plane, it would exacerbate the legal challenges already facing Vladimir Putin. In March 2023, the International Criminal Court, ICC, issued an arrest warrant for Putin, accusing him of war crimes related to the unlawful deportation of Ukrainian children to Russia. This marked the first time the ICC issued a warrant against a leader of a permanent member of the UN Security Council. Adding this latest incident to the list of accusations could lead to further international condemnation, diplomatic fallout, and heightened calls for accountability. If proven deliberate, this act could significantly damage Russia's diplomatic relations and worsen its already precarious position on the global stage. Second, the technological limitations revealed by this tragedy are notable. Air defense systems, such as Russia's Pantsir-S, are highly advanced yet remain vulnerable to errors, especially in high-stress environments. These systems rely on sophisticated radar and targeting mechanisms, but the risk of misidentification persists. The incident highlights the urgent need for improved target identification protocols and cybersecurity measures to minimize such errors and protect civilian lives. History offers lessons in how technological advancements can mitigate similar tragedies. For example, the 1983 downing of Korean Airlines Flight 007 led to significant changes in aviation safety. This included making GPS technology available for civilian use, which greatly enhanced navigational accuracy and reduced the likelihood of future mishaps. Additionally, improved coordination between military and civilian air traffic control systems was implemented to ensure civilian aircraft are more easily identifiable. Similarly, today's incident should spur innovation to prevent future disasters. Finally, the broader implications of this event underscore the complexities of modern warfare and international relations. This tragedy reinforces the urgent need for robust communication channels, technological progress, and strict adherence to legal and ethical norms to safeguard innocent lives. The downing of the Azerbaijan Airlines plane is not just a disaster for the victims and their families. It is a grim indicator of the continued instability in the region and the reckless behavior of those in power. As the international community awaits the full report from relevant bodies, the preliminary information paints a bleak picture. Each passing event further tarnishes Putin's position and reputation on the global stage, as the toll of innocent lives lost continues to mount. This tragedy serves as a sobering reminder of the need for accountability, collaboration, and progress to prevent such devastating incidents in the future.